on, everyone? Burnt Toast Chronicles here. I've got my first Halo 4 commentary, and let me just say, I am absolutely loving this game. I was barely able to put it down long enough to even come make a commentary, but now that I have, let me tell you what I got going on here. So, this is a game of Team Infinity Slayer, and aside from a name change, Team Infinity Slayer and Team Slayer from the previous Halo games are pretty much the exact same thing. I mean, the objective is still the same, so don't get too hung up on that name change if it's confusing you, because it doesn't matter. The map, though, is called Haven, and depending on how much pre-release coverage you followed, you may or may not recognize this map. My friend was telling me that this map was used a lot for machinimas and gameplay demos. Now, I personally did not watch any of the pre-release stuff because I wanted the game to be a total surprise. I didn't want to have any bias going into it, so I don't know if this map has changed at all or stayed the same from when it was being shown in gameplay demos. So if you are familiar with that stuff, then you'll have to be the judge of that because, like I said, I have no idea. But this is actually one of the first games that I played, and that's something that I kind of like to try to do. It's sort of a tradition for me, where if I'm going to be making a commentary in a new game, I try to get my first match of that game to match up with my first commentary. And so what I mean is, like, the very first commentary that I ever made on my channel was paired up with the first game of Black Ops that I ever played, and then the first Halo commentary that I ever made on my channel was paired up with the first game of Halo Reach that I ever played. So this was one of the first games of Halo 4 that I played, and it unfortunately was not the first because I was running into quite a few technical problems trying to get some of that figured out. What I ran into a lot was some pretty serious lag, and of course I understand I was playing on release day and their servers were absolutely overloaded. I understand that, that's to be expected, but, it was a real pain. I couldn't play any war games, I couldn't play any Spartan Ops, so I was just enjoying the campaign, which is equally as great, believe me. I have no issues with being forced to play campaign because I was loving it. But another issue that I was running into, and actually my friend ran into as well, and we don't know why this happened, but we were playing the game and our screen had basically just super zoomed in. You'll see right now I'm holding the DMR, and it zoomed in so far to the point that you could barely even see the ammo counter on screen. So it only happened once, and we were able to reset it by just taking out our disk and putting it back in. So it's not like it's been a recurring problem, but it did happen once. And then, of course, the final problem that we were running into was simply trying to get a game from the start, because Halo 4 implemented a join-in-progress system. So what was happening to us is, people would be quitting games, and as we're trying to join one, we're getting thrown into a game that's 5 seconds from losing. So this was pretty much the first game that I got where there was no lag, and my screen wasn't super zoomed in, and we didn't join in progress, and we were actually able to win. So trying to get all of those things, together at once was quite the task. But overall, I'm really enjoying the game. Of course, with this being one of my first games, you'll see that I'm certainly not a pro by any means here. I make my fair share of screw-ups, and a lot of that right now is, no one's going to be perfect at this game. It's a brand new game. There's a brand new set of skills to learn with it. You've got to learn what each weapon does, how it handles, what it feels like to use. You've got to learn the maps and just the general feel of the game. So you'll see I'm kind of make my fair share of noobish mistakes in this game, but that's just all part of learning it. My kill-death ratio in this game is by no means phenomenal, and I don't want anybody to think that it's a perfection or anything like that. I'll tell you right now, I got 17 kills and 10 deaths in this game, but if it counts for anything, I also got 10 assists, so I felt for it being one of my first games, it was pretty worthwhile. But I'm certainly trying to improve that as I become more and more familiar with this game. And when I was talking earlier about learning new aspects of the game, one of the biggest things that I think is a new challenge is how fast you die in this game, or at least how fast it seems like you die in this game. And my friend agrees with me on that, where it seems like you're a little bit easier to kill in Halo 4. And, you know, going into this as somebody who's played Halo 3 and Halo Reach, that's kind of what I'm basing it off of. The amount of time and the amount of ammo that it should take to kill someone, that's what I'm basing this off of. So if you have previous Halo experience, you may be feeling the same way about that. I don't know. But, of course, if you're going into this with no previous Halo experience, or if Call of Duty or Battlefield has always been your thing, then, you know, you may just feel that this is right at home. I mean, it's really the kind of thing where you're going to have to play it for yourself and really get the feel of the game to be the final judge of that. I mean, you can watch gameplay all day long, but it just does not deliver that same impact as playing the game for yourself. And, I mean, that's if anyone's even watching this video right now, because I do not blame people for not being on YouTube, because I'm sure everybody is playing Halo 4. It is just an absolutely, it's so fun. I mean, I could talk it up all day. It is a great game, if you ask me. I'm by no means a reviewer, you know, that's never been something I do, but just to put in my 2 cents, I really am enjoying this game. I don't want to get too into that, though, because one of the other notable changes right away in this game that I want to talk about for people who aren't too familiar with Halo 4 or who are trying to learn it right now are ordnance drops. And a couple times you may have seen something pop up at the top middle of my screen, or if you look to the left of my screen, right above where my radar and hologram is, you'll see a little circle that is slowly filling up, and what that is your ordnance drop. And if you get a certain number of kills, I don't know how many it takes to get the ordnance drop, but if you get a certain amount, then certain rewards are randomly generated for you, and you can call them in. So it's kind of like a kill streak from Call of Duty, and I'm certainly not trying to say that this game is like Call of Duty or compare it to Call of Duty in any way. I just think that, you know, with Call of Duty being as rampant as it is, I think that's what a lot of people have to compare it to, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just trying to make it as relatable as possible. Halo is still Halo, and Call of Duty is still Call of Duty, so I'm not trying to, you know, combine the two or say that this combined the two in any way. So, I mean, there is a lot to talk about with Halo 4. It's a brand new game, things have changed, and it's a new experience, and I could go on and on and on. And, of course, I'm not going to fit it all into one video, which is why I've already got a second one lined up and ready to go. It'll be a Capture the Flag gameplay. I decided to just go with Team Slayer this time around because I feel as a first impression for a new game, just a basic Team Slayer, Team Deathmatch type style. It's a really bland and neutral way to go into the game and experience it, and just sort of get a feel for it. So my next game around will be Capture the Flag, which, you know, start to introduce, you know, how objectives are done in Halo 4. So, you know, it's a really fun game. I'm looking forward to putting out a lot more videos because I'm having a great time with it, and I hope you guys are enjoying the gameplay that you've seen here and are looking forward to seeing more games from me. And if you have, then please subscribe to me for more, and I will talk to you all later.